Infinix has introduced the HOT 8 model into the Kenyan market, and there is three devices. There is the HOT 8 Lite that starts at 9,999. Has 2 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage. Then there is the HOT 8, the normal version, that has the same 2 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage. But the difference with the HOT 8 Lite and the HOT 8 normal version is that the HOT 8 Lite doesn't support 4G networks. For some reason, Infinix still believes you can have 4G as a feature. It will be interesting to see how people buy, because they're the same phone. One has 4G, one doesn't have 4G. But the processors, I believe, are different because of 4G support. Anyway, there's also a third model that is the HOT 8 with 3 gigs of RAM and 32 gigs of internal storage. It will be 11,000 and something, and it will be on Jumia. Personally, I believe the 3 gig RAM version is the one you should go for. But I've got the 2 gig 4G version from Infinix for review, and this is my first impressions. It's not every day you find an Infinix phone advertising a Google product. I only saw it with stock Android Infinix Android One phones. There was the HOT 2 and the Infinix Note 4. Was it the Note 4? Yeah, that had stock Android and you could see Google products on it. But with the HOT 8, you're seeing files. So it comes with the files up from Google, and it's interesting to see why Infinix is putting this forward. Because I personally use the files up on my Galaxy Note 10 because it does a couple of things, including cleaning unused junk on your phone. It can also send files and all sort of things. So first of all, let's unbox the Infinix HOT 8, the 2 gig RAM version that supports 4G. It starts at 10,999. Okay, so this is the packaging. On the front, it's written 4G LTE 32 gigs. So if you're choosing, or if you're buying the phone, make sure you check that it has 4G, because the other version is exactly the same but it lacks 4G. At the back, there is the spec list, so you can see the processor. That's a Helio A22, I believe. It has a 6.6-inch display, but it's 720p. And the biggest thing with the phone is the 5,000 milliamp battery. So there we go with the usual knife you people hate. I like this green, black, accented, purple, blue, whatever. It looks so good. It's purple and green and blue and black, and yeah, it looks so good. There you go. That's the front. For a 5,000 milliamp battery, it feels quite light. I didn't expect it to feel quite light. Okay, so there is some paperwork. Yeah, this includes the, I hope, warranty information. This is the retail version, so this is what you'll be getting if you're buying this phone. Okay. Okay, there's a free case included, a free protector, the user manual, something from X Club, the files that I was talking about from Google, and the free silicone cover with some design stuff in the back. It looks good, and it's always a good thing if a company includes the case, because sometimes the phone is very scratches very easily, so you don't know what to do. Okay, the charger. Let me see the rating for the charger, because it's 5 volts 2 amps, so it's 10 watt charging, which is not fast in 2019. So you can expect this phone will take very long to charge, yes, since it's a 5,000 milliamp battery. The usual Infinix earphones and the micro USB cable. And that's it for the unboxing. Let's look at these files pre-installed on your phone. So files should help you clean. It keeps your phone feeling like new, regularly removes clutters and free up spaces, because you find sometimes there's apps that have junk in the background with stuff that you don't need. that the phone is intelligent enough to clean and remove for you. It also helps you browse and find your files fast, photos and videos, because it organizes them. I'll show you. It organizes them in folders, and you can also share without using data. You remember in the past there used to be something called XShare. What was the name? Yeah. So Files from Google does it, and does it even faster. Okay, this is the midnight black model. So at the front, Infinix is showing off the biggest features, which is the 5000 milliamp battery, the 6.6-inch display, a triple rear camera, and DRAC sound. That's the display. Looks really clean. And that's the back. Looks also really clean. Designed by Infinix. There's a back fingerprint scanner. And if you look at the cameras, let's focus on the cameras. There's 3 lenses plus the flash. I hope all lenses work, because I noticed with the 𝐭𝐞𝐜-𝐡 12, the normal 𝐭𝐞𝐜-𝐡 12, that one of the lenses was just a useless addition. I hope all lenses work here. Okay, so here we go after setup. It's quite a tall display, but it fits on the hand. It fits on my hand quite well. Something I've noticed is Tecno and Infinix, all transient companies are sort of using the same design language. It's like they have one template and almost every phone looks sort of the same. It helps the high-end phones look quite good, because after doing something over a long period of time, you know what to better and what to change. I've also noticed that there is a dual front flash. Let me just open that. The front camera. There's a lot of aesthetics that have been borrowed from iOS. I thought it was a dual LED flash, but it seems like the other one this side isn't really a flash. I don't know what it is, but yeah, there you go. The camera UI has sort of been changed quite a bit. I don't know how you will know which lens you're using and which lens you aren't using, because there's no icons to show you which lens you're using and which one is not in use. So bear in mind, some lenses could not be working and they could be extra, but I'll test that out in the full review. Something else I've noticed is it comes in this sort of dark mode. I don't know if there's a way to put it into a sort of light mode, but it comes in dark mode, which is good if you love dark mode. It doesn't really save battery because this is not an OLED display anyway. And yeah, the ads are still there, the launches are still there, and the demands are still there, so I always deny them everything. Please read these privacy policies, because sometimes you might be giving away information without knowing. And I never agree to such policies. What I do normally is I install a launcher and do away with XOS launcher, because I don't want to be constantly bombarded with ads and requests and stuff. So do the same if you get this phone. Now let's talk about that Files app that is sort of the headlining feature. Here's Files. So for example, on my Note 10, I have Files up, and as you can see, after a couple of days using it, it knows that there is backed up photos, so I can free up to 4 GB of space. I can delete these big media files, and I can delete downloaded files and large files. So Files helps you clean up unnecessary junk and large files that are doing nothing on your phone. Here it's in dark mode, that's why it looks sort of like this, and here it's in light mode anyway. You can also quickly access downloads and access images, videos, and audio files. You can also share files between different devices. So for example, if I go into videos and I want to share this video, so send with Files up, allow, ask your friend to open the app and tap receive. So go to share, tap receive, allow, and you're waiting for sender. And on this side, HOT 8 has popped up. So as soon as I hit send, they connect, and I accept, and the folder is sent, or the file is sent immediately. As you can see, the speed is quite good. So here I have the file, but it's a copyrighted music video, so yeah, then you can disconnect. So yeah, basically that's it for the first impressions of the HOT 8. I'll have a long review after a couple of days using it. Remember, these are the specs: 2 gigs of RAM, 32 gigs of internal storage, an 8 megapixel camera. As you can see, it's written 13 megapixel triple. They haven't specified the extra lenses, so I'll check if they're actually working. 2 gigahertz quad-core processor. I have 5000 milliamp battery, which is really good. 720p screen and Android Pie. Okay, so there you go. The full review will be up in a couple of days. I'll try my best to use every feature so that I can have a comprehensive in-depth review. You can read all other reviews on 𝐭𝐞𝐜.com, because writing a review is much easier for me than making a video of a review, because you have to shoot the video and do a couple of stuff. Anyway, so the full review will be up in a couple of days. I'll try my best to have it as soon as possible. I'll try my best to capture everything that you might want to know. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask about the device. I think it's a good device. If you don't want to wait for the review to buy it, you can still pick it up, but I believe you should pick up the 3 gig version from Jumia. So thank you very much. Subscribe.